Hello, my name is Chrissie. Welcome back to the Purple Library and Happy New Year to you. If this is the first time you are watching my video, 2024 was an absolutely amazing year. How did my 2024 TBR turn out? I'll link the videos in the description down below. You can see the journey. Books that I want to get to this year. I definitely want to work towards reading these books. And then I have a few carryovers as well that I recently picked up that I definitely want to add on to, maybe some series that I want to complete in 2025. I reckon we just gonna go on in faith and see what the end gonna be. But we'll start here. Feeling Revelation, and I'm really looking forward to reading this book. As you know, I really enjoy end times nonfiction and end times fiction. Revealing Revelation definitely is one book I've had my eye on for a very long time, and I'm really excited to dive in. He is definitely on the front lines in the end times events, and you know prophecy unfolding left and right, so you're living in the middle of it, girl. And my girl Lindsay so graciously gifted this book to me, so I'm super excited to check it out. So I'm really excited to see what he presents and what the Lord has ministered to him and revealed to him through scripture about Revelation. Revelation is one of my favorite books in the Bible. I'm looking forward to checking this out. Rhythms of Renewal, trading stress and anxiety for a life of peace and purpose. And I really find this is going to be a very timely read for me. The Lord is recalibrating me and fortifying my foundations in regard to rest and quality of time and space, and truly embracing when Christ says that I am Lord of the Sabbath. So to live through him is to live peaceably among all men and to abide with the Lord. And so that's the direction I believe the Lord is taking me this year. And so I feel like this is the perfect book for this season in my life. And so I'm definitely checking it out. It's going to be great. So I have a couple of Jamie Jo Wright books I want to read as well. If you've watched the latest bookshelf tour, you know that was dedicated to Jamie Jo Wright and Ted Dekker. So here we are. So I figured let's add some Jamie Jo Wright to the TBR this year. So The Premonition at Withers Farm and The Reckoning at Gossamer Pond by Jamie Jo Wright. She's a Christian thriller suspense author, and I really enjoy her book. She writes like multi points of view and multiple timelines as well, and some historical fiction elements in there too. So I really enjoy her books, the ones that I have read, and I have no doubt that these are going to be amazing too. Recorders, this is a Christian science fiction, and this is book 1 in the Children of the Consortium series, so graciously gifted to me from my girl Taylor. Hey girl, hey. I've heard a lot of amazing things about this book. Definitely plan on reading this in the coming weeks. Maybe by the time you've seen this video, I may have already read it and enjoyed it. Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. I didn't read any Jane Austen last year, which kind of was surprising. Making my way through Jane Austen for the past couple of years. Let's get back on the bandwagon. Let's read Northanger Abbey, and if I'm so inclined, maybe I'll add another Jane Austen this year. I do want to read some more classics and really make that a part of my reading habit, and I heard it's a lot of fun. I usually keep books on these yearly TBRs for about 3 years, and if I don't get to it on the 3rd year, then I just put it back on my shelf and recognize it's probably not the season for me if I can't get to it in the 3 years that I put my eyeballs on it. You know what I'm saying? Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Okay, so I'm really enjoying the Bronte sister books, okay? I read Jane Eyre last year by Anne Bronte, and so Emily, you update, girl. What you got? What's your story gonna be? Heard very interesting things about this. This is a well-beloved story, albeit readers have gotten different things from this, and so I've heard that it is a bit of a gothic romance, a bit toxic, huh? And also some have said that it's romantic. So I guess it's very divisive with depending on perspective and different types of readers and reading styles. So I'm looking forward to checking this out. My expectations are managed. I'm just going in and seeing where this story goes, but I love me a little gothic romance. I ain't gonna hold you. Daphne du Maurier messed me up for that, y'all. So Lobster Chronicles by Linda Greenlaw. Linda Greenlaw is one of my husband Eric, Mr. Librarian's favorite authors of all time, and I realized I have not read Linda Greenlaw, so I want to read it. I asked him which book he he wanted me to read by this author, and this is the one that he picked. And so this is the one that I'm going to read, The Lobster Chronicles, Life on a Very Small Island. If you did not know, Linda Greenlaw was one of the captains during the Perfect Storm. Really looking forward to reading this book. C.S. Lewis Space Trilogy. My girl Laura was telling me about this as well, and I'm super excited to check this out. I really don't know anything about it, but I was looking for it. I was able to find this amazing edition, Out of the Silent Planet, first in the celebrated Space Trilogy. I am so excited for this. This is a classic sci-fi by C.S. Lewis, and you know it has biblical faith allegory as well. I would love to complete this entire series this year. That would be fantastic. Let me know if you've actually read the Space Trilogy. Guns of the Dawn. I have heard great things about this. My girls Tiffany and Deea love reading Tchaikovsky, so I'm like, I want to read some too. And I believe Holly has read some as well. I've heard amazing things about his books. I don't really know much about this. I feel like this is going to really check off a lot of boxes for me in my reading taste, and I'm looking forward to this being a very interesting read, and it's a tome. We love us big books up here because we don't have Hob anymore. So I'm still not over it. I'm not. Speaking of tomes, The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. Book 5 in this series was released the end of last year. And so now I can start my journey, because ain't nobody gonna have me hemmed up like Chuck Black got me hemmed up with the Starlo Legacy. I'm just bite my fingernails waiting to get that series, but let me move. Everyone has heard about this book, I am sure. It is epic high fantasy. Brandon Sanderson is one of my favorite authors, and I really enjoy his books. I enjoy his writing style. I'm ready for the journey. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what to expect, and that's the best feeling. Pawn. I know if you've been here for any length of time, there is a standing joke about Pawn. It's not really a joke. It's more of a matter of fact. Did I check this out from the library? Did I keep it for 8 months and didn't read it? I did, to the point where it was gifted to me because, girl, you eventually gonna read this. My girl Amanda was like, listen, let's just help you move forward in a positive direction. Let's just get this for you. Editing Chrissy here. Book was returned to said library. However, it was about 9 months later. So the mafia came and got their book, pounded my door down. But listen, they got their book. And the fees. Oh, the fees. Listen, $2 at the library is almost like $2 million in real life. I'm just saying. Okay, back to the, I'm gonna read Pawn. So I'm gonna read Pawn this year. It made it, y'all. It finally made it. So I'm looking forward to this. This is a Patrick Bowers thriller, and it's Special Agent Patrick Bowers never met a killer he couldn't catch until now. So Christian thriller. I love the fact that it's like starting off as a game of chess. I'm looking forward to reading this one as well, for real. And now for some carryovers from last year. I picked up the sequel, which is literally called The Sequel. And so I definitely am incentivized to finish or to get caught up in this, and I really enjoyed what I did read. I'm definitely motivated to read this one too. Merlin, which is book 2 in the Pendragon Cycle by Stephen R. Lawhead. This is a Christian Arthurian fantasy about the legend of Arthur, and I love Arthurian legends and retellings. They're just my favorite types of stories to read, and so this really has set the bar pretty high for this type of story for me, and I really enjoyed Lawhead's writing in the first book called Taliesin, which I finished last year. And look at this cover. I love this classic cover as well. What he got? He got a fur mink on or something? Okay. It's giving what it's supposed to give. Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is book 2 in the Natural series that I started last year. I'm super excited to buddy read this with my girl Bethany. I cannot wait. The Naturals was surprisingly thrilling and unsettling and exciting, YA angsty, and it just gave a lot of the element, but how she did it was so refreshing. And I can say, if I read this series and then read the Inheritance games, I think I probably would not have enjoyed the Inheritance games as much as I did. Looking forward to checking this out too. Last but not least, I will be continuing my journey in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, The Two Towers. So I'm really looking forward to reading The Two Towers and just taking my time going through it and experiencing the story story firsthand. The writing is so beautiful. It's classic, it's epic, it's full of depth and adventure, and I am excited to continue my reading adventure. This is gonna be a good time. So that is my 2025 TBR, and I am looking forward to reading all of these books. I am super excited to start them. I might be starting some sooner than later. We will see, and by the time you see this, I may have read about 3 or 4 of these. So who knows? We just gonna go on in faith and see what the end will be. Let me know if you've read any of these books or if you have some recommendations as well. I'm always on the hunt for a really good Christian fantasy sci-fi book. So if you know any good ones, put it in the comments down below. I pray you know that the grace of the Lord is with you. His loving kindness and his mercy follows you all the day long. May you have a wonderful, wonderful year this year. Know I'm thinking of you and I'm praying for you. May the Lord bless and keep you. And I see you guys in the next one. Bye.